What we broke? It's broke. It's broke. No, it's back. It's back. I don't know
What?
what's going on, lads. Something
Panic
terrible.
having a shy hammer. He's like Mikel
Something.
Arteta are there.
Something awful went on there, lads. I don't know. I pressed the exact same buttons as I always fucking do, and it's
They're
just
still
decided.
saying no sound.
It
Sure,
must be
what
an
match?
It must be an Arsenal producer in the background went, no, don't want to listen to this. Anyway, welcome to the Talkin Kop. It is the Sunday night Cop. It is the 9th of March. Liverpool are 15 points clear in the Premier League after another fantastic weekend at Barclays. I've said that twice now. A 3-1 win at home to Southampton, followed up by the mighty Manchester United being held 1-1 at home to Arsenal. We were going to talk about the Southampton game. We might. You never know. But I just want to talk about how deadly this is. Emma, how happy are you right now? The Reds are probably, realistically, about 3 wins away from winning the title.
Yeah, I think 3 or 4. I'm delighted. I've not you didn't really get to enjoy it in 2020, and then the one before that obviously was what age was I? 11 or 12. So this is living it now. This is what it's really like. There's going to be some release in the stadium. I'm hoping that it's going to be a home game that puts us over the edge. I hope it's not another one of these. Arsenal are losing to such and such midweek, and they're out the back of a hotel having a fucking barbecue. I hope it's in the stadium, and I hope anybody that watches, if you're going to be there, like I'd be so envious. But I'm just glad that I'm going to be there the last day of the season, and the place is going to be on absolute wheels. There's already pictures and made up pictures going into the WhatsApp group and everything, and I'm just lapping it up and lapping up the tears of Arsenal and Arsenal AFTV, and it's just brilliant. Like even looking today, I put a picture in like Arsenal complaining about injuries. It had about twice as many injuries today as Arsenal did. It's all a myth busters, and Arteta's a fucking fraud, an absolute fraud. Once, like that's it now. Title race, we knew the title race is as good as over. But when he walks away from Sky, when he's asked about the credit, that's it. Start concentrating on staying in the top four. I think for Arsenal, but it's the happiest I've been. I would say as a Liverpool fan, we've had some great times. Champions League finals, FA Cup finals, League Cup finals. The comeback against Barcelona, but this is going to be a procession now to number 20, which is great.
Paul Dunning is putting up his bunting on Friday. Now, honestly, I've huge time for people to put bunting. I really fucking have. Right? And it depends on what you put out. Like, are you throwing 3 or 4 strings out each window, like, and hanging it around pillars and, encroaching on your neighbour's fucking pillar a little bit? Like, I've huge time for the bunt and stuff. Stephen says, over my dead body 1 week ago, and now this week he's running off to catch the bus. Like, Keith, and like it's another swing in points. It's 15 points. It's a minimum of 12 points with 9 games to go. I think it'll be more than that. But it's Liverpool's title and no one can touch them. And you can say what you want about quality and everything else. Liverpool are still on track here for a 97-point season.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's another swing because it's not really swinging. Do you know what I mean?
No,
It's just going
it's
one
just
way
hanging there. It's just an empty
every
swing.
week. It's just like it's constantly just going.
Yeah.
Look, it's I think get the bunting now. Fuck it. There's nothing to be worried about.
Bunting is
These
quality.
cowards. Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know what I mean. It's a bit old school, but look, fuck it. We're feeling all nostalgic. We might as well. Vera Lynn will be out singing as well. We'll meet again, like the end of World War II. But look, Liverpool, right? Liverpool are the great bit of gear. Don't let anyone tell you anything different, right? The fact we've said it, maybe in our private chats and on this as well, and I know Sean, you've certainly been saying it, like we're worrying about people chasing us that can't catch us. Do you know what I mean? Like we're worrying about Arsenal, we're worrying about Mikel Arteta. They have proven time and time again that they don't have the onions for this. Coulda, shoulda, woulda FC. Every excuse under the sun. They gaslight us every week about refereeing decisions. We're getting more yesterday about penalty decisions. Somehow Liverpool are getting treated because of the David Q thing. We're getting more penalties, and stonewall decisions that are going for us. It's absolutely tremendous looking at the breakdown. Do you know what Arsenal remind me of, right? Arsenal, does anyone watch Pointless, right? And when you go on to Pointless, if you win, now it's not about being pointless, right? But if you go on to Pointless,
I
you
don't know the
get
concept
3
of this game
turns.
at all.
Pointless is you just go on and you have to guess the right answer, but it has to be the lowest points. But you should watch it. It's very good. Big fans in this house.
Right.
But on Pointless, right, you get 3 chances to go on it. But if you get to the final part of the show, whether you win or lose, that's it, you're gone. So you might only get one show.
Right.
If you don't win it, you get another one. Arsenal like the ones on Pointless that get their 3 shows because they never win it. They get to the final too, they get to the semi-final, head-to-head against another pair of people, and they lose. So they get back the next day, and they lose the next day again, and they get back. They get their 3 days. They get their value out of Pointless. They don't win, but they'll tell you they got to the playoff 3 times because they don't have the minerals, they don't have the onions, and they'll be talking about it in the pub for years to come that we got 3 shows on Pointless, and that's what Arsenal remind me of. We had Gary Neville today talking about fucking, this Arsenal team, Arsenal team last year, I bet that this Liverpool team, and if Arsenal had this and if Arsenal had that. The amount of mental gymnastics these cabbages are having to go through to run down Liverpool, and we're all just sitting back having a cigar because the team that are chasing us would need a fucking Lamborghini to keep pace with this Liverpool team. Instead, they have a lad. They are absolutely shy. They are cowards. They are bottle jobs. And we spoke earlier. Don't be surprised to see Bukayo Saka getting wheeled out with bleeding injections and everything else before the end of the season as a desperate act of as Jerry Hutch said, of a dime. The last thing of a dime was. But this is what Arsenal are. This is what Arsenal are. They're shy. They're cowards, and I hope this doesn't come back to bite us and we end up winning this league.
It's
not.
But no, like
all seriousness.
It's like playing hide and go seek against Stevie Wonder.
Exactly. Exactly.
Shawnee, we know the narratives get thrown around all the time, and whatever narrative can fit, they'll throw it in just to keep fucking things bubbling over. But like Keith says there, and I happened to just catch that clip a few minutes ago of Gary Neville saying Arsenal team of last year is better than this Liverpool team. But that's nonsense for a start, right? Because the Arsenal team of last year, you were putting over 38 games, and he's making this presumption after 29, right? If Liverpool go on and take 20 points here in the next 27, they'll finish with 90 points, which is more than Arsenal done last year, and we'll probably do 90 at a bit of a canter. That's what I think. But forget the narrative for a minute, Shawnee. We are the best team in the country. We're shown we're the best team in the country, and your table never lies. And when you deal with whatever adversity comes your way, like I always say, and you win a lot when you win a title. And regardless of Walls being 11.2 yards away, or the Queen fucking dying, or whatever it might be, right? 38 games, whoever's the best wins it. Whether it's a point clear or 15 points clear, Liverpool are way ahead of anything else in this league. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, like, again, tribalism makes gobshites out of everyone. Particularly those in the media, because the thing is, everything you say now can be traced, whether it's a tweet or a prediction you made back in August or something outlandish you said. It's like they have bleeding Paul Mason plugged into a fucking soundboard and they're able to type in whatever they want and it just comes out of his mouth. Now, like one of them VTech laptops, you just type it in and then it just says whatever you put into it. One thing I will agree with them, with what a lot of people saying, the league is shy. And we've made shy of it. The league is shy. And that's why we're 15 points ahead and it's not tight. That's why we're going to do 90 points. We're making it look like League One. We're making it look like a Farmers League. We've lost one game. Like, we've done it in second gear. Let's be honest. Like, 1920 was similar, but we just shot off. And this league, they're all battling. Look at it's bottleneck from down. And I'm not saying that to diminish what we're doing. I'm just saying we're making shy of the league. We've made shy of this league. Absolute dirt.
But the argument that it's a poor quality league, right?
Well, it depends. Look,
No,
I
what I'm
think
saying is,
I think
hear
Shawnee was just doing a play on words there. He said
no. What I
we're
mean is,
making
no. But I think you're
beauty's
dead.
in
I
the
think
eye of
you're,
the beholder. Like if
yeah,
you
I completely, because if Arsenal,
take yourself out and look from, like, I think they could actually get. I think that now the fact that it's top 5 now means they're probably guaranteed Champions League football. But they're blessed because I actually think they can get reeled in because
Yeah.
like I've watched Arsenal and I'm saying it the longest with them. They haven't been good at all this season. There hasn't been a title race this year.
No.
There just hasn't. People thought I was called condescending a couple of weeks ago, and I said that I wasn't. I was just saying it as it is. There hasn't been a title race. Like the title race is supposed to start after this international break. Like Sky and all that, probably thinking like, what are we gonna go with here now? Because like there's fuck all point on about this league. There's not pulling up graphics. The bottom 3 are gone down, and there's a good race on for Europe, but. Like, you know what I mean? I think fucking Forest put a nail in the coffin. Like, Sky are going to struggle to sell ads for the rest of the season. Everything's going to be on Liverpool. And I'm telling you now, I'm telling you now, they'll be doing everything in their power. What are they going to conjure up? Because at the end of the day, when it gets to this stage of the season, they want to see who's lying where. Last year it was a 3-horse race. The couple of years before that was the Arsenal. Look, listen, they've never got him in a sniff. They haven't. They were 8 points ahead. They went the Etihad. They got that pants pulled down. They got bashed, and they haven't been the same team since. And it's had a huge effect on that manager because he's changed his tact 2 or 3 times now since that, and they haven't been near us all year. Let's be real. And like if you look at them across any platform, they're always explaining something. There's always some reason as to why it's not gone well. There's no such thing as just like we weren't good enough. Now there is a few Arsenal fans who I actually enjoy their content. There's a lot of Dan Potts. I watch a lot of what he says. He's very good, and he just says like who are we to have this sort of like this was supposed to be Arsenal's title? Like where's that coming from? They haven't won a league title in 21 years. You know, like and that's what I don't get. That's what I don't get. Oh, bring on Madrid. Like, you've done nothing in Europe for as long as I've been alive. Like, so, like, where does it come from? And that's what I don't get. And then what you happen, like, I always go back to something Neil Atkinson says, what Gary Neville thinks about Liverpool Football Club is none of my business. I love that. I love that because at the end of the day, you can't expect this fella to give a balanced opinion on Liverpool. He had United's midfield ahead of ours in Monday Night Football, the first one of the season. He had us in 5th. Like, you know what I mean? He was back in Arsenal right up until the last international break. So you need to realise that these fellas aren't they're not even giving you their real opinion. You know, like that just placating to a crowd. Kane today again. I know a lot of people take fucking hate of what Kane says and think he's just a grumpy old bollocks. But when your man turned around and said to him today after the yoke, what do you think of Arsenal get a strike and kick on next year? He says, like, no. Why would I? Like, what have I seen from this manager to suggest he's going to do anything? He hasn't done anything. He's ostracised any big character. Boys, I could sit here and slag Arteta over his fucking light bulbs and stupid shit that he's done on camera in front of everyone and the wind, the dog and all of that other stuff. But sometimes you just need to call it as it is. They're talking about the best centre-back player in Europe. They've 2 central defensive midfielders playing in front of them and 2 centre-backs playing like imagine fucking Kanate and Van Dijk with Timber and another centre-back playing left-back. What they've had, like, and I don't even rate your man Calafiori, and two DMs in front of them in Rice and fucking, because that's what they are. They don't concede a lot of goals. Like the set piece thing, like when they scored the goal against Liverpool, Gary Neville saying, "Show me the set piece, coach," on commentary. Like the shit they've
and then 2 weeks later contradicting themselves, saying, "I think they're pushing this fella forward too much." You were the one that called for it.
But just back to the point on the poor league, right? The league is the league. I think it's really competitive, to be fair, right? And I think, you know, when I hear any fan that isn't a Liverpool fan saying, "Oh, well, nobody really cares about this league because the quality of it's being shit," right? If the quality of it's being shit, how in the name of fuck and Liverpool 15 points clear of you, or 20
And
points
you
clear
know,
of you. If the league is shy, you're actually
getting that
telling
from
me. You're
United
actually
fans
telling
as
me
well.
that your side is shy.
They're in
But this is what I'm
15.
saying. You have Arsenal fans or United or City or whatever going. The quality league is shy. But hold on a
Because,
minute.
Gav, you have
You're
excuses
20,
for everything.
you're 15, 20, 30 points behind Liverpool in a shite league. So what
You've
happens
seen the one,
if the
Gav.
quality goes up? Where do you end up? Do you know
You
what I
were
mean?
talking about the one there about them giving out, about literally, now they're saying giving out yards. Like, they were giving out about the distance of the wall, right? They're giving out because they had players correctly sent off or incorrect, and like,
Yeah.
oh, we had to deal with red cards. Like, what you mean? It's a fucking rule of the game. It's a principle of the game. Like, oh, we had to deal with injuries. Like, like you said, mental gymnastics to come out with this shit. Arsenal, for nearly as long as I've been alive, and we can go into it, like, if you really want to get into it, you can. Like, for as long as I've been alive, they've been shit to bed. They've been they've been a shit to bed club. They fucked out the man who built the club like he was fucking yesterday's newspaper. And had no regard for him after everything he'd done. They couldn't get rid of him quick enough, and he used to get them over the line a little bit. But when you think about it, oh yeah, is yours gold, the Invincibles? They got a trophy the same size as that fucking water bottle.
Sorry, I have to stop you. Right? But listen, because I want to read this out. But Stephen Kemp says we've only lost 5 of the last 77 games. That's basically it. But Catman Stab says apparently Arteta cooked the chicken breast at halftime a few weeks ago. Hold on, if Mikel Arteta cooked the chicken breast at half time a couple of weeks ago, honestly, he needs to fuck off out of that club. Like, some people says seriously, and he went, yeah, he did, yeah. There you go.
I read something about that, and
It can't be true.
An unnamed player said they didn't have a clue what the point of the chicken was. He don't cook this chicken and didn't say it, and just now decide for ourselves what that
What
means.
did he do? Did he just slap an air fryer up onto the physio's table?
Probably
and just lash the
make
chicken
point
fillet
about
into it.
salmonella is the only thing that can ruin our league run now. And maybe it was, maybe it's salmonella. Maybe they didn't cook that chicken well enough. And that's
if you haven't seen it, Gab, put the link in the description. The light bulb one. You're looking at the players looking at.
The light bulb one is great.
Who said it, Sean? Look at Martinelli's face.
I put it in the group the other day, and Martinelli is. And I don't know what Martinelli's English is like, but he's literally like, "What the fuck is going on?" And you can see Lacazette, Lacazette's doing that, like the Henri where the mouth now, the mouth that the nose is going.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think, like, this fella he's just an oddball.
Oh, he's the weirdest of them all, isn't he?
He's straight, and you know what? It's kind of like he's like a cult leader. He's like your man Dave Miscavige, who L. Ron Hubbard, the Scientologists. He's had to get everyone to buy into this shit, and I don't know how he's managed to. He's on £15 million a year. Like, what the fuck? How has he managed it?
And they blame the board for him not having a striker. Yeah, it's him constantly going out to buy centre backs.
I have the quote here. An unnamed Arsenal player left Arsenal in January 2022 has described Mikel Arteta as quite peculiar, right? Quite a peculiar character in an interview with Barstool Sports. It was a game against Liverpool, 4-0 we lost. During half time, he didn't even speak. He brought out a grill, a chicken breast, and covered the smoke alarm. He cooked it there and ate it there.
That has to be in Zinchenko's book or something, is it?
It's a player that left in 2022. But anyway, we might get back to them. I couldn't get over Declan Rice shushing the Stretford end after making it 1-1 today. That blew my mind, to be fair. If I'm a Liverpool fan and Curtis Jones bangs one in there, I want him picking the ball out of net and running back to Hartwell and going, right, let's go.
You seen it yesterday at 1-1.
Yeah, I know. But just back to Liverpool because, you know, I'll go back to you, Emma, and I'll start there again. I'll start what?
Did he bring a chicken breast on the bus up from London with him? What the fuck is going on? I have so many questions here.
So the people that left in 2022 are Joe Willock, Maitland-Niles, Kolasinac, David Luiz, Willian, Aubameyang. It's one. It has to be one of those.
I'm gonna
All the
say
rest
it's
of them
one of the
all
English
the rest of
lads.
them are only on loan, so they'd be hardly speaking out a turn. Like so.
One of the English
But
boys, Maitland
look,
Niles.
back to Liverpool, and without going into the game yesterday, you know, I think Liverpool were poor in the first half. They done the
Lads,
business
you
in
was
the
a
second
pull on
half.
my leg. That's not a real story.
I'm telling
I
you, people
read
are in
it
the
the other
chat.
day myself. Yeah,
People in the
genuinely.
chat telling us. But just Liverpool, you know, like when you look at Arsenal today, and it's kind of everything's looks a bit desperate, and Liverpool are going to go 1-0 down, right? We go and win the game. They go and win the game. But Emmett, you know, we're talking about narratives here, and we're talking about, you know, Arsenal, and the City stuff's kind of gone away. To be fair, there's not an awful lot coming out of City with regards to excuses. And in fairness to Guardiola, he said, look, even if I win I think he said if he won the FA Cup, you know, they're still in that, I think. He said, like, it won't mask how bad a season we've had and how badly we've played. Like, so, you know, I'm not as big as fan, but fair play to him. And the Arsenal stuff is fucking riotous at the minute, and there's a bit of United in there with Amarin. But just on Liverpool, I can't understand why, well, I can, but why aren't Sky and TNT or whoever, whatever fucking channel or kind of publication you want to read or watch, why aren't they screaming from the rooftops how good this manager's done this season? Like, genuinely.
They are.
I don't think they are,
Little
Shawnee.
bit.
They are.
No, I wouldn't say screaming from the rooftops. They mention it, but you have to remember that they probably ran an awful lot of headlines and an awful lot of these overlap things and all at the end of last season, start of this season, saying that probably going to be a drop off from Liverpool because Klopp went, and now they've changed it to, and not necessarily Sky, but people on the overlap are saying that it's Klopp's team. So it's like to be contradicting themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think somebody said earlier on that Liverpool are only 3 points ahead of where they were this time last year. So it's not a massive difference in Liverpool from last year and Liverpool from this year. Maybe style of play slightly different, and that's all down to Slot. And I'm not going to caveat like we've caveated for the last 9 months or whatever, 7, 8 months. Um, he changes in game. He's able to change in game. That's probably something that we previously haven't been able to do. We always seem to play one way, and it was like that. This is the way. This is the way we're going to play. And this is the way we're going to win. As long as we keep knocking on that door, somebody's going to answer. Slot, to me, if he's trying to knock that door down, he also has some two lads going around the back to check to see if there's any windows open. That's the only kind of analogy I can give you on Slot. He finds a way, and he can play several different ways. We saw that against PSG. We saw it against Man City a few weeks ago. They should be screaming from the rooftops. They are giving him some sort of a credit, but I think what he's done is unbelievable with the squad that he had or has that ran out of puff last year. But probably ran out of puff last year because of the way they were being asked to play. And he's probably looked at this from afar. Like when he first came in, he said he watched hundreds of hours of training sessions, hundreds of hours of matches, and he's looked at that and thought, if we can just tweak this slightly, this team can go up another level, and not even necessarily up another gear because they're not. They're probably running less, sprinting less. In fact, they
Yeah, they
100% are,
Mm.
and still getting things done. My kind of opinion on yesterday is I think we came out really quickly. We played well for the first 5-10 minutes,
Yeah.
and I think that is go out and get a goal, and then they have to come out, and that'll play into our hands. And when we didn't get a goal in the first 10-15 minutes, it was around about then that we started kind of slowing down and moving it. There was no kind of pops to our passes. And then again, he gets them in at half time, makes the changes, which again, how many times has he made changes this season and it's completely changed games? But yeah, I think it's on us to scream from the rooftops. He will get his flowers from certain parts of the media, but I think it's on Liverpool fans to completely scream it from the rooftops. I
Yeah.
think he's absolutely fantastic. In fact, who was it earlier? I think it was in one of the WhatsApp. At what? Where do you rate him so far? Like obviously, looking that he's going to go on and win the league compared to previous managers, where would you rate him?
Liverpool or Premiership?
No, I think Liverpool, I think was the question. I think it might have been John that asked it.
Well,
But if Benitez came in, he wins the Champions League in his first season.
wins the FA Cup in the second.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Slot
look,
could be
I
there.
think it's way. I think it
No,
is
no, no,
way.
no.
I
I'm
think
not. I'm not.
no,
trying
I
to
know you're not
place
asking. I know
it.
you're not asking the question. I think it's more of an impact. You know, a manager coming in and having
The
an
fact
impact.
that people are asking that question should tell
Yeah,
you
look,
what
I'm
people
not
think of
saying
him already.
I'm not saying he's not getting credit. What I'm saying is, like, I think he should be top of the billing when
Yeah.
people come on and start talking about football, but he's not. I think they're so impressed with him when you see him standing after a game with Kelly Dalglish or whoever it is, right? Carragher, whatever channel he happens to be on. I think they're really impressed by him when he speaks. What I'm saying is, when that comes on a Monday on Sky, it should be, look what the fucking job this fella's doing. But it's usually, can Arsenal get it back? And I think that, like, can Arsenal get this back? And I know that narrative is there to try drum up interest. But what I'm saying is, like, it's always look at the downfall of these. And yeah, we'll go and mention this fella as well. He's done really well. Like, Keith, maybe I'm wrong, Keith, but
Lads,
I do feel he should be top of the bill.
All you have to do is look at who you're listening to.
Well, you see, my problem is I listen to very few.
Yeah, but then do you know what to do? Look for behind the scenes stuff. Do you know who are doing fucking brilliant behind the scenes stuff these days? Brentford. I've watched. I'm football mad. I watch Brentford's YouTube channel is probably the best football YouTube channel on. They done a yoke after the Liverpool game. Listen to what Thomas Frank is saying about Liverpool.
When the coaches meeting.
Yeah, and that's how you know. You don't need a screaming from the rooftops. All you need to know is every other manager knows this isn't the same anymore. Like, if we showed up, people saying there's no real difference, and do you know what? Slots even said it sometimes, and I'm always thinking you're a lying bastard. Yeah, like there's loads of difference. There's a big sea change. The thing is with this Liverpool team is, instead of Klopp, when it wasn't working for us, you had to go when you had a few lads showing up who probably thought, you just rock up here today and we'll bowl these over. You needed players to go from first to sixth gear to win a game. We don't even need that now. Oh, it's not happening for us. Did you know what will happen? Fucking half time, Slot's gonna do something. And I felt like that nearly every single game. Every single game. Like, yesterday I was watching it going, how has he done this here? How is it Elliot in fucking 10 yards of space every time he gets the ball? But like, how is he done? Like, I don't know how he's doing it. And everyone at the start of the season going, he's giving away too much on his tactics and all. He's not. He's telling you exactly what he wants you to hear. I can't for the life understand. I can't understand how he's done it. He's made the most potent wide forward in the history of the Premier League free. Yeah. Free. Every time you look at Mo Salah, he's in 10 yards of space. And people think that's not a coach. That's not being coached. How is he doing it? How the fuck is he doing that? How is he pulling teams all over the place? We were at the Brentford game after the first home game. Brentford were bollocks on 70 minutes. Couldn't run anymore. Could not run anymore. And all that was yesterday was few of the lads going, do you know what? We're at the game, and I was bloody there. Have gone in 1-0 at half time. We go up the hair gears and we roll them over here.
And apparently Slot was really fucking angry at half time.
They knew it as well. He said it himself. He said it at half time apparently at PSG. He'll get 1 or 2 chances here and we'll see what way we get out. And we did. The game opened up. He's fucking brilliant. We don't need fucking Tim Sherwood on your woman bleeding, whatever her name is, Sue Barker, fucking
Sue Barker.
Whatever her name is.
Sue Barker stopping the question of sports. Have her say on the Reds.
You don't need Joey Barn. You don't need fucking some fella who you don't need a fella. Yeah, Statman Dave screaming from the rooftops about fucking Arne Slot, because the only people who you should really give a bollocks about is screaming from the roof, and we don't need to scream from the rooftop because we all know how good he is. Yeah. We all know he's, and I couldn't give a fuck if a single cunt on that Sky Sports panel doesn't give Arne Slot flowers between now and the day he leaves the club, because I couldn't give a shit. You know yourself, they're all just waiting for the stick to beat him with. He's going up and tying them all in nuts when he's going on. They're all walking down. They're all afraid to talk to him. And he set his stall out with Carragher on the first day when he made a fucking tick out of him. And it basically just turned around and said, they all thought after Klopp went out, he might get a word in edgeways with this fella. They're afraid of him. They're afraid. And he set his stall out earlier. And that, look, everyone's watching I watched a couple of things on Klopp Day today, the one where seeing all the players talking about. I'm not going to lie to you, boys. I haven't thought of Jurgen Klopp probably half as much as I should have in the last 8 to 9 months, and that's because of the job this fella is doing.
Absolutely.
All right, Shane McGlinchey there in the fucking chat, like Gabby Abonglahan and Troy Deeney are getting messages, are getting jobs in the media. Honest, these fellas failed their birth cert. Never mind fucking They're fucking brain dead. Do you know what I mean? So there's very, very few people in the media and in that world who vindication is needed for Arne Slot. Look at the fucking job he's doing. Look at where we are on the table. Look at the results he's put together. Like, lads, it was 0-0 at half time against Bayer Leverkusen, and we wiped the floor with them in the second half. There's been so many games like that. Man City,
I think the Madrid one was huge.
Second one, Madrid, again, similar to Elliot yesterday. He just pushes Bradley further up the pitch. And all of these Champions League winners, and Valverde and Camavinga, are looking around going, what the fuck's going on here? Who's this little fella in belt for fucking the armpit of oil in there running around? Never seen this little cunt in my life. He's at the putting Mbappe up in the air. The fella we want to sign is over on the bench there, crying into his fucking Jude Bellingham pajamas. And this little cunt is causing havoc on the edge of the box. What's going on here?
Yeah. It was so impressive. In fairness, it was
so impressive. And the thing is, it's not like a fucking Pep Guardiola robotic. Oh, boom, boom, boom. I don't know how he's doing it. I don't know how he's doing. And you know the other thing is, I don't even think we're going to see the best from him next year when he has lads who he knows. Oh, I know he can do this, and I know he can do this.
Well, Jerry says that. Jerry says Slot has ticked every box possible. Only thing left is recruits. I imagine he'd be very good at it. I'd say any ambitious player around will want to play for Slot now. Like Keith, how impressed have you been by him? And look, we're going to do more shows before the end of the season about Arne Slot and the results we've got and big decisions he's made and changes he's made in game and before games and whatever it might be. But like even down to yesterday, he gets Elliot on the pitch and Elliot just seems to be like a 12th man. It's like he brought Elliot on without making a fucking sub because he just had loads of space everywhere. How impressed have you been by him?
Oh, through the roof. You know, first game of the season, he whips off Kwanzaa at half-time because he's not doing the business. A young player and fucking whipped him. And Neil throws him under the bus in his interview. And that was a sign of a manager that's not there to afraid to shake things up and afraid to, you know, stick with the status quo of how things are done. You don't do this, you don't do that. From day one, he's made big calls. He's changed things. He's won games based off his changes. And we've seen it right up until the weekend just gone when big players, you know, Curtis Jones and Dominic Szoboszlai get out. Szoboszlai not doing enough. And he says it. Get off. Brings in Elliot, who hasn't seen much time, and Alexis McAllister. And Liverpool controlled the game and dominated the game. His changes are the most impressive. His in-game management, his in-game changes are the most impressive bits of his tenure so far for me. And you look at, he's made a couple of mistakes. What was the game? Was it the Villa game when we were ahead and we didn't bring on Endo? He brought on Jota. It was like he was chasing another goal or something like that. And apart from that, everything he's doing is just turning to gold. Do you know, for all that Mikel Arteta is the Emperor's new clothes, who's going around in the nude saying his new jacket is lovely, Arne Slot is King Midas. Everything he touches is turning to gold. A little one for the fairy tales or whatever they're called, you know, just throw it in there. But everything he's doing is working. Everything he's doing. Listen to Curtis Jones at the start of the season. I don't know, was it even the start of this, like at the season started?
Pre-season.
And he was talking pre-season, wasn't it? And he was talking about the difference between Jurgen Klopp. And like the way we do all the time, I certainly do, he caveats it and says, look, this isn't a dig at Jurgen Klopp. He said, but I'm enjoying this. He says, we're getting the ball. We're getting to dictate the play. Whereas Klopp, the midfield were all about nearly just facilitating everything else. You know, if anybody has been to a match live when Jordan Henderson played for Liverpool, we spoke about this before, the amount of times Jordan Henderson was doing other people's work for them or covering players' positions, that's what his role was. This midfield they're getting to dictate, they're getting to control the play. Our midfield that he hasn't built, but he inherited this midfield. And one change, the subtle thing he done, didn't get Zubimendi, turns Ryan Gravenberch into one of the best holding midfielders in Europe. You know, and that's a manager that's confident. He knows the player in any way because he's Dutch. You would have seen him when he was at Ajax. He knows what he can do, where a lot of us didn't know what he could do. And he's just doing that. The little changes that he's doing, he's not afraid to take Trent off on 60 minutes to put Bradley on when Bradley was fit. He's not afraid to drop Robertson. You know, he's doing that with the squad he inherited. I think the next season, when he does bring in his own players, it will be very interesting, because I read something recently. We all went apeshit about not signing players, but I read something recently that he didn't want to sign players because he wanted to see what he had and who he could nearly trust and what areas he needs to improve on himself, without just going in and saying, right, give me bleeding, I'm going to take this fella in as a number 6. And we already had one in waiting. Do you know what I mean? Now, I know we tried to get Zubimendi, but they seem to be going for the bigger name maybe than quality over the quantity of it. And I just think when he sees what he wants, and look, we all have our ideas of what improvements need to be done in that team. But I think next season, when we see a lot of the players that he doesn't rate moved on, and players that can play the way he really wants, I think Liverpool are only going to be stronger. I think he's been excellent. I think the fact that Shawnee said it there, we're not thinking or talking about Klopp as much as we should be after everything he's done. It's not a slight on Klopp. It's just an absolute sign of how good Arne Slot has been for Liverpool. Couldn't be any better. Like, it's the fella has just exceeded every expectation. Nobody had it. Nobody thought we'd be at, you know, a title. It's not even a title chase, that we'd be steamrolling to the title. And I don't mean even us or Liverpool fans. You look at the shit in the media, and like, some of them didn't have us in the top 4. Do you know what I mean? And spoke about it. And I know we shouldn't be listening to these cabbages, but the expectation was so low, and now it's twisting. It's, oh, well, he's inherited a great squad. Well, which is it? Because he had that squad in the summer when they said Liverpool fucking bottled the league last year because they were winning it and they fell off a cliff. But now all of a sudden he had a great squad, and you know, again, it's mental gymnastics. They're trying to change everything to suit a narrative. Slot's just getting on with it. Doesn't care. He's not afraid to put a rocket up someone. He's not afraid to upset someone's feelings within the squad or whatever. And that is what I've enjoyed most about him. Not afraid to shake it up. We've seen other managers take over from legends and just be afraid to do things. We've seen Ole Gunnar Solskjaer afraid to park in the manager's parking space at Manchester United. Yeah. This fella doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. It's like, he touches on a couple of things there, you know, like he comes in and there's quotes a couple of weeks ago saying he wanted to assess the squad and he wanted to see how the squad worked with him. And, you know, now, don't get me wrong, there'll be a lot of people out there going, well, that's probably Liverpool wanting that because they don't want to spend money or whatever. But you have to take him at face value because his results show that he was comfortable with the squad, but he wanted, there was two things to it. He was comfortable with it, but he wanted to assess it, and he wanted proper time to assess it and make measured decisions on a squad going forward, which will be in the summer. He's already said he's looked at every position on the football team. And what Keith says there as well, like, you know, they didn't have him in 4th or 5th. They didn't have him in the top 4 because people walked in and went, Slot's gone, or Klopp is gone, Slot is in, who the fuck is he? Liverpool will fall asunder, they won't be in the top 4. Like, Neville, I think, has them 6th or 7th. You know, all this sort of stuff, and wild fucking stuff being said at the time, right? And he deals with that. And then he puts this team out, and this team keeps getting results, and all of a sudden, he's inherited this squad. And I know I sound like I'm repeating, Keith, but he's dealing with all these things. You know what I mean? He's dealing with these things, and no matter what way you throw it at him, he has an answer for it. You know, yes, I inherited this squad, but this squad, that's exactly the same at this stage of last season, was on the way to the wheels falling off. Shawnee mentions plenty of times, we go and beat Brighton, and Shawnee's sitting at home going, we're not winning this league. He's taken that squad that he's inherited and he's tweaked it just to the point where what's our outlay? What is our physical outlay? Mentally, how are we? Yeah. He hasn't made signings. He's not being backed. He's taken that and went, I haven't. Not that I haven't been backed. I've decided that this is what I want to do. The bravery in it. And no matter what you throw at him and what way negative kind of narrative you want to put to it, he's dealt with it all by simply putting this team out there and getting the results. There's an answer to every single question and every piece of nonsense, to be fair.
Yeah, it's I could listen to him all day, to be honest with you, the way he kind of bats away the questions, even the difficult questions. I think the one kind of bit that kind of nearly sums him up is when he absolutely dismantles Manchester United's game plan live on Sky after the game, like in the space of a minute and a half. And you said it yourself there a few minutes ago. They're all seeming a bit of awe of him as he's giving you a breakdown of how he knew how United were going to play. Um, I think he was probably when he came in, probably as always, like he'll want to win it, but top four is going to be Champions League football is the target, and he kind of looked at that and thought, well, look, I can get Champions League football with this. Let's face it, he probably will be working with a limited budget at Liverpool. Most managers will have to deal with a limited budget. So why would you come? He comes in and basically tries and use what he has. Will this fella work here? Will this fella work there? And that's what he's done all season. Like he has chopped and changed. It's not like I know we've spoken about Arteta. He's not running the same 14, 15 lads into the ground week in, week out. He has tried different things. Gravenberch being the biggest success story of the season, I would say, under Slot. And now what he's done is he's assessed it. He's always bigged up the squad. He's always said that Klopp left the squad in a healthy state. And now, like Keith said, he's going to be able to tweak these things and bring in his own players. If he had came in and started changing wholesale changes, he'd be thrown under the bus quicker than anything if he was struggling for the top four. But now he's gone in, he's done it with that. I agree with Keith. When he starts adding in players that he thinks suits his style of play better than probably what we have, and maybe I would say Nunes is probably one of the first ones, will probably not suit the way he wants to play. I think we're only going to get better. Um, I I think we're going to see some names go in the summer that we maybe didn't expect to go. I think Jota and Nunes are probably going to go anyway. I think it probably would be best to move them on. But I think you might see the back of Harvey Elliott. I'm not sure whether he fancies him or not.
But names
Um,
aside,
but when he does this, when he did like the way Elliott plays, like Shawnee touched on it earlier on. Elliott always wants the ball. He just found these little spaces, kept drifting into it. Yes, like I think that's ideal to have a player like that for games like yesterday. When you're coming up against a low block, you need players with a little bit of guile like that want the ball all the time. That's gonna pick the lock. So I said it last week. Maybe it was. I'd like to see him a little bit more in the last few games of the season. Then he comes on against PSG, gets the goal. Comes on yesterday. I might be wrong, but I just have a feeling that he might be moved on. But go on, names aside.
yeah, no, just on that, like, and I'll get on to. I'm going to get on to like looking forward in a minute. Names aside of who you think might go and not go in the contract situations or whatever it is, the fact that he's taken the squad and hasn't said, right, I need 4 players. I need 4 players to get us beyond what we were last season. I think he's earned massive trust in, if a player leaves, you go, whoa, Jesus, but hold on. He's had a year of him and he knows what he wants and he knows what he can do. I think he's already earned massive trust in the sense of, oh, Jesus, he's leaving and he's bringing him in. I think a lot of people go, listen, hands up. You have to let him have it because he's literally turned around and went, give me everything you have there. Don't worry about anything else. Leave me with it and we'll see where we go. And just what he's the output of this squad this season, whether you like players or don't, I think leaves Arne Slot in a very, very good position, whether he wants player A that you love or player B that you don't, in or out of the club. I think he's earned massive massive time.
Oh, he definitely has. We touched on him being ruthless there. Keith touched on him being ruthless. I think he is ruthless, especially when he pulls Kwanzaa off in the first game of the season. But that looks ruthless from the outside. But I'd imagine that he probably had him then the next day or probably later that day or on the phone or whatever, explaining what he wants. Like we heard from Trent. Trent said that he had a meeting with him and he told him if he just changes his body an extra 2 degrees one way, it'll help him be a better defender. And I think we've seen from Trent this season that he has in games been better defensively. So if it turns out that he needs to be ruthless, I don't think it's going to be a case of, and I'll mention Klopp with Sacco when he was getting like he was literally just that's it, you're gone. I think he'll have conversations with the lads to say, look, and he'll explain. In public, it'll look ruthless, but I think in the background, there's probably an arm around the shoulder explaining it to the players as to why maybe they won't fit in.
Yeah, and a lot of players left Liverpool, and didn't really have a bad word to say about Jurgen Klopp when they left.
And I think that'll be the same with Slot.
Yeah, maybe it will.
As much as you're saying there that he's earned probably the top brass respect for being able to bring players in, I think he's earned the players' respect as well. You can tell. Keep mentioning Jones. Trent has spoken very highly of him, so I think he's well liked in terms of the players as well.
Yeah, I think he might be very straightforward in what he says, and I think the players like that at times.
Yeah.
Shawnee, looking forward though, there's a 15-point gap. We have 9 league games left. The rest have 10. Some of them might have 11. I'm not too sure. But looking forward to this, we are meant
22 for all I care.
Yeah, but we were mentioning last week that if Liverpool keep winning, and the teams around you, or well, they're not even around you, but the teams closest to you are dropping points to put you in a position where you can start to prioritise some things differently. Because I'm under no illusions that Liverpool's priority is the league title. Even right now, I think they'd be going, no, win, and we'll keep going. But they're in a brilliant position now with regards to what he can do. Now, I think getting over Tuesday, probably, it depends a lot on Tuesday. If you get through Tuesday, you're going to go, right, what are we doing in the league to make our chances against our Villa or a Bruges or any of the Madrids or whatever it might be. Looking forward though, I said we were in a great position last week, Shawnee. We're in an exceptional position this week if we go through on Tuesday, aren't we, to really prime ourselves for what could be a treble. And I don't get all this there and a treble. We're going for a treble, Shawnee. If we get through on Tuesday, he's in an unbelievable position.
Yeah, Matt used a great term for it in the WhatsApp, saying that I think the Champions League this year, he's playing with house money, like, for want of a better term. There's no real pressure. It has opened up now with the draw. Like, with the format, you can see a route to a final, and you're kind of know to yourself, okay, what you might need to do if you're going to go all the way. Obviously, a cup final next Sunday and a big game on Tuesday. But this is the type of stuff you kind of dream about at the start of the season, that when you come around to crunch time, that you're able to kind of prioritise what position you're in. Look, I'll put it into perspective for you. I was chatting to one of my brothers on the phone the other day, Gizmo, who he's on now, and he said, Sean, I don't think I'm going to make the last day of the season in May, just to go away or whatever. And he goes, but tell you what we do, we make a day out for the cup final. And I just said, like, listen to us, listen to the stuff we're saying. I'm not going to make it over for when we win the league in May, but we can go out next weekend for the cup final and make up for it. Like, we're spoiled.
What a time to be alive.
We're genuinely spoiled rotten. And do you know what? I think football's come a lot about bleeding division and stuff. Like, there's even division in fan bases about players liking certain players, or, like, not everyone has joined up thinking. And I don't think football should be like that anyway. I think everyone is entitled to their opinion and being different. But I think if you can't enjoy this next 8 to 10 weeks, what's coming up, like, I've no hope for you. If you're worrying about who's coming in the summer, who's going out in the summer, you're doing it wrong. I'm just telling you that now. I'm not even giving you advice. I'm just telling you you're doing it wrong. Just soak it in and enjoy it. It's a fucking huge game on Tuesday. They're talking a load of shit, which I love as well. It's great. It's brilliant. It's big boy football. It's kind of, when we're sat on the sidelines for a fucking long time under Hodgson and Rodgers, and you're watching all these big games, and you're just thinking, Jesus, will we ever get back to it? Now we're front and centre. You know what I mean? We're going again to a chance to do back-to-back League Cups on Sunday, where we're heavily favoured. It's fucking brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. We're absolutely spoiled. We were poor for long enough, and we were shy for long enough. And I'd imagine that this time last year, when everyone knew Klopp was going, They were probably worried about what direction we were going to go in. You know what I mean? And then again, that's where you're coming into listening to people on TalkSport who probably thinking that we're going to be out of Europe in X amount of years. It's not like this is a fucking huge club with all the heritage in terms of English football, and I'm just delighted that I'll have stories to tell of the likes of Virgil's, the likes of Mo, the night in fucking Istanbul, the night in Madrid, the 1920 season, 24-25 season, winning the cup with kids. It's fucking brilliant. And that's all you can ask for. Like, yeah, we're absolutely spoiled rotten. This week is mental. This week is fucking mad. It's mental. Like, you're looking at a Champions League quarter final, which, let's call a spade a shovel here. We'd be fucking heavily favoured in against either of those sides. And then you can go and win a fucking a cup, and then you're going off into an international break with the league wrapped up, a league cup under your arm, and a quarter-finals of the Champions League to look forward to. It's fucking... And Adidas kits next year. I'm going to keep saying that until it gets
yeah, it's not getting enough. It's not. I have heard that they aren't releasing the new gear in May this year though.
No, it won't be because it's a change of maker.
Yeah, it won't be.
No, it's not. It's not. It's down. It's partially because of that, but it's also because you're gonna end up seeing an awful lot of 20 years since Istanbul sort of merchandise. So yeah, that's part of it. But the Adidas will be with you in June.
Again, like, I just think it's deadly. Like, it's brilliant. It's all you can hope for as a football fan, that your team are playing in big, meaningful games. Now, why not? Look, someone from fucking Scunthorpe probably watching going, listen to this bleeding gimp talking about fucking supporting Liverpool from Dublin. But I'm just saying, like, be honest with you, we were shy for long enough, you know, we were the butt of jokes for long enough, but all them people are gone missing now, and if they're not gone missing, they're talking out of holes, and then that's just how you know.
Just to back that up, Johnny, look at United at the moment.
Yeah,
so there's no guarantee that we will not be shy again in the future. So you need to enjoy it now, because
I can nearly guarantee we won't be that shy.
We won't be that shy, but we may not be in the running for leagues, or we may not be in the running for Champions League, and you'll be looking back, like you said, when we used to look at it and go, "Oh, wish we were involved in that." You're gonna look back and think, "Jesus, you know what? I wish I soaked that in. I wish I enjoyed that."
I love looking back at all stuff. Like, I said it last night, I was watching videos of Fowler and all. I can't wait until I'm 50, 60 years of age watching back bleeding. I remember
saying that, James, I'm not even that far off that.
Remember when man
I'm 50, he's still watching Gravenberch. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, like, it's great. It's deadly. And getting to come on here and chat with you boys, and then the weekends away in May and fucking days and nights out. It's brilliant. It's fucking. It's all you can ask for. Just soak it in is all I'll say. And look, the players I've got on their back, who's good enough, who's not, they're all chipping in now, and it's fucking great. And look, we probably won't even get to talk about them. The Darwin yesterday, fucking deadly, brilliant. Honest to God, delighted for him. A huge week for him. After it looked like he was going to be out in the cold. I think I said on the show last week, I'd be surprised if he played again. That's the gun. I think
he's had a big week then, yeah.
And he's had a big week.
But you see, that's the thing. But this is the thing with this Liverpool squad.
A week is such a long time in football.
But this is the thing with the Liverpool squad. Like, when you hear other teams telling you about, we're missing this fella and we're missing that fella, and I'm kind of going, yeah, but the fellas that are there aren't putting it in for you. You know what I mean? Darwin Núñez is like a bleeding, loose horse in a fucking housing estate. He's fucking mental. You know what I mean? But every so often he'll turn up and go goal, assist, goal, and you kind of go, yeah, do you know what? He mightn't be the best, and he mightn't be first choice, but he's coming in and he's contributing, and that's the difference in this team to everyone else this season. If you look around it, what the fuck has Kevin De Bruyne done this season to contribute? What has Bernardo Silva done this season to contribute? Jack Grealish? They've done fuck all, right? And then you go to Arsenal and you look and go, has Trossard done enough? Has Havertz done enough? Has Declan Rice done enough? And you kind of go, probably not. And what's happening is, and then you have players that are coming into their teams, and you're going, you're not doing enough either. Is Darwin doing enough to be a first team striker at Liverpool? Absolutely not. But he's whatever amount of goals this season, a couple of assists, big moments, and that's the difference. When teams have players that can make a difference, not every week, but when they're called upon and you badly need it, people are doing it. And other teams simply aren't. Keith, you know, Shawnee's put it really well there. We're spoiled rotten. We're doing this, we're doing that. But, like, as I said, the league for me is, give me the league. I don't, not that I don't care about anything after that, but if you gave me the league right now, well, yeah, you probably are. But at the start of the season, if you said to me, you're winning the league title, I'm having a fucking breeze after that. I'm 100% taking it. But Keith, if you get through on Tuesday night, right, the whole world opens up for you, in my opinion. Because of the position you're in, where you can dictate how and when you win this league, right? The League Cup is the League Cup, but you're looking at League and Champions League, and you're kind of saying, "Fucking hell, we can do what we like here between now and the end of the season."
Yeah, I'm a big believer in like momentum as well, you know, and I think you win a League Cup. Look, that's not to take Newcastle for granted, but you know, if Liverpool get through PSG on Tuesday, isn't it? We play
Tuesday night, yeah.
We get through that on Tuesday, and we go into a League Cup final, and we win that League Cup final. I think that's, you know, it's a trophy in the bag. It's Slot's first trophy. The league more or less is on ice. The champagne's on ice for that. And then the Champions League, as we've touched on already, you know, you get past, and we may have said this before, that PSG game is probably going to be the hardest game we've had all season. That game of Paris.
I'd argue it is going to. I argue the one Tuesday coming is going to be so hard as well.
Well, that'll be hard, but something I think Shawnee mentioned, the talk coming out of them. I seen something today where Luis Enrique is talking.
They made 8 changes this weekend.
Yeah, but he's talking about the players having fear. Yeah, but did you not see the other shit that came out that he was saying the players are starting to get nervous? They're being nervous and they're worried. Some of the players are starting to talk like they're worried and nervous and apprehensive about playing in Anfield. So they came out with all that bullshit and bluster, and now they're starting, their cough is getting softened a bit. I'd say Ousmane Dembele has a shy hemorrhage at the thought of going to Liverpool. Remember, he missed the sitter in the bleeding in the game against Barca. Should have laid and won it. And like these players will know they're in for a game. But if we get through that, as you say, it's Aston Villa in the next round. I like Aston Villa. I like Unai Emery. I think he's a good coach. He's made for knockout football. I'd fancy we'd get through Aston Villa. Then you've got a Madrid team or Arsenal in the semis. Look, not worried about any of them. Not worried about any of these teams. So everything opens up. If we can get that win on Tuesday night, that rolls into the League Cup final. That rolls into the league games when we come back. And what better game to come back to, by the way, than Bleeding Everton at Anfield? Do you know what I mean? A shower of shite that we owe to after the carry on the last time. So everything is rolling, I think, in Liverpool's favour here, as in a momentum sort of thing. Like we're cutting Arsenal adrift, right? Death by 1,000 paper cuts. They can't even last 1,000. We're doing our own thing now. We're not worrying about them. We're now looking at what we're going to do, what Liverpool can do, what this season can hold for us. And look, I'm not taking the Champions League for granted because it'll be hard to win it. It's hard to win the league. But Liverpool, to me, look equipped. If we can, you know, we go through these phases where we didn't play great on Saturday first half. In the main, started off, as Emmett said, we started off all right, but then tailed off. But then we were brilliant in the second half, you know, and Liverpool have shown all season, even during their sticky patches when we're getting a few draws, we're having moments in those games where we do still look excellent. You know, the Newcastle game where we conceded at the last minute, we were excellent second half in that game and just happened to drop the ball at the end. But I just think this Liverpool team have shown enough that we can not be arrogant about it. I know I'm clapping that we've won the league already, but I think we can be confident in this team and this manager that they will give it their all. And, you know, it could end up being an unbelievable debut season for the man where he wins a treble. I'll take the league, but give me them all because I'm greedy like that.
I take the league, but if we beat PSG on Tuesday, I'm booking flights to Liverpool for the weekend, first weekend in June.
Are you? Would you not book flights to Munich?
No. I'm being Liverpool.
Okay, you're probably getting a ticket from Munich if you get to the final. It'll be absolute fucking lunacy
Exactly,
as well.
and I prefer to be. I've gone the last 2 Champions League finals. I've gone to Liverpool instead of trying to go to where, because I knew I wasn't getting a ticket.
Yeah, well then stay at home then, will you?
To
Because you've a
nine-
50% win rate.
Yeah,
but I was there. I was there by both parades.
yeah.
So, and they're absolutely unbelievable. So
Okay. I was gonna ask you what you think, but you've just told me if they get past PSG, I'm booking flights. And that's the end of it.
I think PSG is probably will probably. I'm not suggesting that any of the rest of the games wouldn't be hard, but I do think that those 2 games will probably be harder than anything that we could have ahead.
I think I just think Tuesday is absolutely massive. If we go out on Tuesday, I think you just look and go, right, we're going to go and win that League Cup and we're going to hammer this league out of it, and then we'll take our break. If we go through, I think he just I don't actually think he takes his foot off the pedal with the league. I think he just says to himself, right, when's our next Champions League game? Right, we got 2 league games for that. Bang bang, we want them 2 wins, and then get into that, and then it'll probably fall into place where if you were to get past a Villa, who it looks like they will play, if you get through, then he can say to himself, right, the league games around the next group, the next games in the Champions League, this is where I'll rest because we'd be in such a brilliant position. But I think anything could happen if he goes through on Tuesday. Genuinely, anything could happen. And one thing in my head is, if they go through on Tuesday, I know you're booking flights and you're probably thinking, oh, it's in your head, right, we're going to win it. I'd actually be of the opinion, if we go through on Tuesday, what will be will be. If you win, you win. You lose. But that league title, it's still all that's on my mind. That's where I am on it. That's been an impressive hour, I have to say. I've really enjoyed it. Didn't talk anything about the match yesterday, apart from Darwin being deadly. Fair play to him. Loads of shows coming this week. Don't forget to check out Pete's tickets for his Phil Lynott thing. That's sold out in April but available in June, and he's also going to Limerick if anyone's around there. Do that, and his new film coming out later on in the year. The trailer's there for that. Loads of shows coming this week, whether it's free on YouTube like this, or it's member shows, or it's across Patreon. The Patreon stuff people have loved so far, so there'll be plenty of that coming throughout the week as well. That's about it. I'll be back in the morning time tomorrow. Had to have a cup of tea and chat to you about whatever you want. That's the start off this week. Keith, anything else before we go?
No, nothing this week. Yeah, Liverpool are great. Everyone's happy.
Good stuff. Emma, anything else before we go?
No, all good. Looking forward to the next 8 to 10 weeks, like Shawnee said. Come what may. But I'm the same. League title above everything else, and anything else will be a bonus. So,
Catman Stav says we barely mentioned Mo. He broke Mo records. Yeah, he's just fucking stupid. And we probably just wait till the end of the season and add it all up, because it's every week we're fucking listing about 15 things he's broken. Shawnee, anything else before we go? Would you like to pull for anyone forward as a sausage of the week?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Who?
That fucking idiot of AFTV.
Which one?
Your man Julian.
He's your sausage of the week?
Yeah, he's a fucking prick, that thing. Prick with ears.
Right. Okay. Well, there you go. He's won something this season.
Yeah, no, he's a dick wipe, that thing. Honestly, God. An absolute dick wipe.
I was expecting this.
Yeah.
I'd say someone in the chat had to see in the video. I'm fair play to your man for Saeed calling him on his bollocks. I'm sick of the shite that bawdy little fucking cretin comes out with on a weekly basis. You see spouted out. Load of fucking
we're still talking the same fella. Okay.
Queen died. I have to have a look at my spreadsheet, but yeah, go and ask the butt end of my bollocks. You little cunt.
Right, there you go. Sausage of the week.
Stick that on your spreadsheet, Julian.
Yeah, put that on your spreadsheet, Julian. Yeah, go and swing. Do you know the 5 lamps? Hang your bollocks off them.
There you go. There's one for the locals. One for the
now,
locals.
Julian, let us know when the parade is for that.
And it's free Palestine until Palestine is free, by the way. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, well, there you go. If anyone, apparently you're not allowed to wear Palestinian things on the internet anymore. So there you go. That has been the Talking Cop. That's been Sunday night. Thanks for being to Keith, Emma, and Shadi. We'll talk to you next week. Well, I will tomorrow. These boys will be maybe through the week, but definitely next week. Talk to you in a bit. Over and out.